All right, let's talk about how to start a PAS agency in Texas. That is non-medical home care. PAS stands for Personal Attendant Services, and it is a category within the Home and Community Support Service Agency license. So you are a HCSA with a PAS category. That's what you're looking for. And that again means non-medical. So you're not sending out nurses or physical therapists. You're sending out unlicensed personnel to people's homes to assist them with their activities of daily living, homemaking, companionship, that kind of thing. You can get that license. Actually, your licensing authority is the Texas Health and Human Services Commission. So that's where you'll hear me referencing HHS a lot here in this presentation. So the first step is you're going to determine who's going to be the administrator and who's going to be the alternate administrator. You do have to have both of those for your license. And the administrator is usually in charge of the whole operation, the whole business, A to Z. The alternate administrator can have a position within the company, or they can just be by name only and have a file and only step in case that there is a need for the state to come in doing a survey, or there's an incident report that needs to be done when there is no administrator available. So they could be in name only in place of the administrator or in the absence of the administrator. The qualifications are they either need to be a physician, a registered nurse, a social worker, or a licensed nursing facility administrator, or they need to have a high school diploma or GED and either 2 years of supervisory or administrative management experience in a health-related setting, or 1 year of experience training a caregiver for a person with functional disabilities or dementia, or it could be a family member or a professional, or completed 2 years of full-time study at an accredited college or university in a health-related setting. Okay, once you have your people in place, your first two people, then you're going to pick a name. And this is really important because it needs to be unique. So the first thing you'll do in regard to that is you're going to get on the HHSC website and do a provider search. So you can just search for the word provider search and it should take you to it. And make sure that no one else in Texas is operating with that name. Once you've got it picked out and you're happy with it, then you got to go to the web and find a domain, and you want a unique domain. So if you want your agency to be ABC Home Care and abchomecare.com is already taken, you may want to rethink that because you want it to be easy for people to be able to find you. And so I would not do an abchomecare.net or .org. Again, people will do a search and not end up finding you, which is ultimately what you're going to want. So once you have that domain picked out, go ahead and purchase it because you will need the web address for your license. And then you want to get a dedicated business phone number. You could do your own personal cell phone number, but be mindful that it's going to be listed on the state website and anybody will be able to access that at any time. So I would recommend having a business number, even if it's just a Google number and you can still answer it on your same phone if you don't want to have a dedicated phone just yet. A Google number is smart because then once you have landlines, you can transfer it to that. It's pretty flexible there. Determine your business address. So if you're going to work from home, which a lot of people do now, that's fine. But be mindful that you need a dedicated space because when the surveyor comes to do their survey, you really don't want to walk willy-nilly all over your house and dealing with your dogs and things like that. So you definitely want a dedicated space for them. And then also, you've got to hire people. And while a lot of people are doing virtual hiring now, just be mindful that you may want to have an outside space that you can use for interviewing if you want to meet them in person. And then also at your primary business address, you'll be keeping all of your records there. So set that up. You can change it later with minimal effort. It's pretty easy. Then you've got to go, both the administrator and the alternate administrator, to the HHSC website and find the computer-based trainings for administrators. And you need to do modules 1, 2, and 3 and have a certificate that you save or print and keep because that will be uploaded with your license application. Then you've got to find your first 8 hours of administrative continuing education units. Within the first 12 months, you actually have to have 24 hours, but they only require the initial 8 and the certificates to go along with that for the administrator and the alternate for the license application. Then you're going to want to go to TULIP, which is the Texas Unified Licensure Information Portal, TULIP, and create an account. use an email that you check regularly. Now, if you've gotten an email with your domain, that's great, but do make sure that you can get to it, that you don't miss these emails or not pay attention to them, because the state will communicate with you about your license when they have questions or things that they need. So it's got to be an email that you're using. And then you're going to submit an application for the new license. And that is kind of a complex situation. It has to be 100% accurate. They will check through every little detail with a fine-tooth comb. So be mindful of that. You also need 2 policies to start out with that you're going to upload as part of that application. One is the policy about the organizational structure of your company, and the second is a policy on transferring a client or agency closure. So they want to know that you have a structure already set up, and that if something happens, that you have a plan for what to do with your clients, because you are responsible for your clients once you've signed them up. So they want to know what's your plan, what you're going to do, what's your end game. The new licenses are good for 3 years. And so the cost for that before internet fees is $2,625 for a 3-year license. You'll only have to renew that every 3 years. I would recommend doing that with a credit card and not an ACH bank draft, because things can get a little glitchy with the state system that accepts your money aside from the actual HHS TULIP people. And then you have 45 days. So if the application is perfect, then they have to send you your license within 45 days, as long as you're approved. That does include background checks for yourself and the option administrator. So I should have said that sooner, but be mindful that there's no major criminal records or fraud ever in their record. So you've got 45 days to wait and to get ready. So you're going to want to go back and check that application regularly just to make sure. Hopefully you've gotten an email if they ask a question or need a clarification, but just in case, you're going to want to check to make sure that it was submitted and received. Then you're going to have to create your logo. So you've got your name and your website. If you already have an idea about your logo, you're going to want to finish that up, get it in a good quality, digital format. And you got to get your policies and procedures ready, how you're going to run your business, what forms are you going to use, all of those things. And then you need to select an EMR, or electronic medical record, a software system for that. So if you're going to do just Medicaid, if you're going to get a contract for Medicaid and only do the primary home care portion, you can use Vesta, which is the free EVV, or electronic visit verification. But everything has to be electronic now. They don't want you working on paper. So there's tons and tons of different electronic medical record software systems out there. People are always happy to do a demo with you, but you do need to work toward that, because that's going to help you to run your business from start to finish. Payroll, client management, employee management, scheduling. There's a lot that goes into that. Then you're going to want to set up your website and create marketing collateral and a marketing plan. I always recommend that you get the website first, and then so that you can use a lot of that same stuff for your brochure and your business card, and that it all kind of matches for branding purposes. And then you've got to learn how to recruit and hire quality caregivers, and learn how to sell your business and sell yourself and sign on clients so that you can be a successful agency. So that's a lot. Now, what is the most efficient way to go about this? Hire a consultant, somebody who's done this before, who's helped many other agencies be successful. It's not an easy process, but those of us who've gone through it aren't afraid of it anymore. And we know those little idiosyncrasies and things that we need to get right. So I definitely recommend you hire somebody. Reach out to me if you'd like to talk. I want to talk about you and your new adventure and what you've got going on. Something popular people are saying these days is you do you. So if you doing you means starting a new home care, then I'd like to help you do you better. Thank you.